Hey everybody, this is Levi Craig with Watercolor Chaos here to show you another painting of Sephiroth and Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. An old game, but a good one. They're going to be remaking it soon, which I'm super excited for. I started this piece going into the face again because the focal point of this was going to be Sephiroth looming over Cloud. Trying to create like this looming presence, you know, he's the antagonist in the game. Right now I'm doing all the highlights, like the light coloring, because in watercolors you have to focus on doing the lights first. So I did this kind of skin tone, which I don't know if you can see my color palette in the lower left hand corner, but I used this light skin tone cream from Grumbatcher. It works really well. And then I'm using like a purple to blue lighting scheme. And then I got reds and being emphasized with the lighting over on the left side. Going into his armor now, kind of creating this light tone. I'm going to go back over it to create that heavier contrast, because once again you have to layer the watercolors so that when it's dry, you can start getting in some more details to make some more fun texture looks. More fun. Whatever. And right now I'm getting into the eyes, because now that his face is dry, I can start doing some of that heavier contrast work. It was really a pain in the butt to get his hair right. That was a lot of work. Now I'm playing in with the lower section. I wanted to create him looming over Cloud, but not just looming over Cloud. I wanted it to be like the church scene where Sephiroth kills, what's her name? That's going to sound terrible, but yes, what's her name dies in this. I'm not going to spoil anything, even though I already did. But anyway, I wanted to create like this church chapel scene for the environment that Cloud is in. So like Sephiroth is kind of dripping in, and those drips I'm hoping creates like arcs, you know, like in churches they've got all those large windows that create arcs, like that scene. And right now I'm getting into Cloud's hair, kind of working a lot in yellows. I messed up in this, and I'll point it out. Yellow on yellow is never a good idea with painting. In my opinion, you should always try to create a contrast between your subjects. Typically in this contrast, I'm working with like a 3-subject kind of composition. I have Sephiroth in the background, then I have like the church environment, and then I have Cloud. And you really want each one of those to pop out from one another. So Cloud being a warm color scheme and the chapel being a warm color scheme was not very good planning on my part. I just wanted to push it out though and see if I could make it work anyway. Because once, you know, painting is just like, it's full of mistakes. You know, Bob Ross says there's no mistakes. But I respectfully disagree. This is a mistake, but nonetheless, I wanted to play around with it and see if I can make it work. With this right now, I'm working in those drips, putting in that heavy purple, creating that, you know, those pillars that I wanted to try and create. And getting into Cloud's hair, which is a lot of texturing. Once it's dry, you can really get in there. I'm using primarily like a size 6 brush for all of this, but for hair I'm starting to appreciate a size 1, if not a half a point brush. So like if you go to your art supply store, you'll find a lot of different watercolor brushes, all polyester based. You can get a lot of different fibers for your brushes, but I use mostly polyester. I believe anyway. Honestly, I haven't done that much research on the brush filaments or the brush hairs. I know you can get a lot of fancier ones. I just grabbed the cheaper ones. Because me, it's all about experience. The more experience I gain, the better I'll get. So with Cloud's armor here, I'm kind of the same thing that I did with Sephiroth. Started with the light tones first, and then once it's dry, I can go back in and do the detailing. Like with Sephiroth's armor, I thought that was pretty cool how I was able to do the light tones, and then I went back over it and did all the dripping to create like a texturing effects for the armor. So now that I'm going back in, I'm touching up on Sephiroth. I wanted to create like this idea of an explosion behind him, but I also want to give a little hint that there was a wing, because he's the one winged angel in the game, and I wanted to give that slight impression that there was a wing. So I just took the brush and lightly did some strokes in the splatters, getting in there, touching up on the flower, and getting some more details in on the face, trying to create like this remorse because Cloud lost someone he cared deeply about due to Sephiroth. Getting in with some more splattering, and I really enjoyed in the background. I went into that warm explosion, into the pinks, reds, blues, and then purple. I think that turned out really good on the lower right hand side. And just about done. I just got a few more touch-ups to do. I'm messing with our flower, getting in more details on cloud. I highly recommend a lot of people to, really plan out their piece before they just start jumping into it. That was one mistake I did on this. It's good to show mistakes anyway, and it turned out all right. But I think everyone should really make a game plan of where the colors are going to be, where your focal points are going to be, and the color themes you really want to play around with, so that you can create a contrast between each subject. You really want there to be a clear separation between characters. And my phone fell. Sorry to drop you guys. But anyway, that's the final piece there. Please give a follow or a like. Give me any feedback or questions you might have. I try to respond as quickly as possible. But till next time, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and stay awesome.